Okay. At 7 p.m. on the 11th of July, not January. It's been a long day. 24, I do hereby call this meeting to order. First off, as you pledge allegiance, please all stand, rise, face the flag. If you're a veteran, you may do a salute. If not, put your hand over your heart, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic in which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty, thank you all. Moment of reflection. You guys can bow your heads, take a moment of silence here. I'm gonna say a little prayer for myself because I like to. Dear Lord in heaven, please be present in this meeting in this building. Watch over all of us. Help us have your truth speak through us, and let us speak to each other in civility, not in anger or raised voices, but as people, one to the other, in a helpful, hopeful, loving manner. Give us wisdom to hear each other and understanding to appreciate it. This is for the betterment of this township and for all those folks who are here with us. It's for all of us, and that's what we're here for. In your name, pray, amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
Supervisor Kendall.
I'm present.
Clerk Baraco, present. Treasurer Miller,
Oh,
absent. Trustee Hires.
here.
Trustee Menke.
Here.
Trustee Greenwood. Here. Trustee Davis.
Here.
6 present. We have a quorum.
To the 7, all righty. So, pardon me, this is water. Apologies. Resolution 7/11/24/47. Approval of the July 11th, 24 consent agenda. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of Township Bedford to approve the July 11th, 2024 agenda as follows. We have, do you have a copy of this in front of you? I don't need to read it word by word, do I?
No.
No. A through K.
So moved.
Support. Good. Discussion at all? Excellent. Roll call.
Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Menke.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dingham.
Yes.
Supervisor Kendall.
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Excellent. We now have the public comment on the agenda items only. And please, we're going to speak up here. We have a podium. I'll give microphones so you heard in the back. Let's move this time here right now to just the agenda items, if you could, please. Anybody?
I'm sorry, may I interject?
Sure.
I think we forgot the approval of minutes.
The last month's meeting.
Oh, that's included in the consent
That's right
agenda.
there. Yep,
Perfect, okay,
got there.
we're good.
All right, comments going once, going twice.
Yeah,
Oh, there we are.
for sure. What I didn't have
Microphone?
No, I'm
Good, making sure. All right.
To try to silence me for loudness again, that's for sure.
Excuse me?
Yes,
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, you don't get to silence me again for
I
loudness.
was offering you politeness. Okay, let's just, time, start right there, 1 second, time you said. I was offering you out of kindness and politeness a microphone. Snarky comments are not needed to me, please. I said respect tonight. Please, voice your comments. Agenda items. Politeness.
Tyranny.
No, politeness. You may be polite. You set the time, please. You may be polite.
Yeah, you're not my daddy.
1. Yes. I asked for politeness. I asked for politeness and stick to agenda items. Me being a parent,
Time is. I don't think you've done that yet.
yes,
So
this is for agenda items
what
only.
is this ordinance
Agenda
saying?
items.
Exactly. Could you let me speak, please, and settle down?
Please, no, you settle down.
You need to escalate.
Point of order, there's no argument.
Keep in mind,
Am I dealing with I'm gonna sit down because I'm not dealing, I can't talk to a child. Thank you.
I'm not a child, but thank you.
You are not like a child.
Oh,
Point of order.
order, that's 2 for you tonight. It is not a child when I asked you for politeness and you came making comments about last time. I said, act with respect and politeness. That's all I said. I offered you a microphone. You made snarky comments. It's not needed here. It is not needed.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Sure.
Justin? Microphone?
Sure.
There you go. It gets offered to everybody equally. Oh, Justin, that's pretty good.
This agenda items only, and the agenda item that I would like to cover is proposed contractual changes, for, the superintendent. You know, I spent my whole, not just my whole day today, spent my whole week going around with expert investigators who have come here to help with the corruption in our
Point
county.
of order, this is not on the agenda.
And,
That's,
sir,
Talking about going around town is not.
no,
Township
It's-
supervisor, you're the chair of the meeting, and it is inappropriate for her to do anything but to address you for a point of order and not to talk back and forth with the crowd.
okay.
I'm addressing you.
But here's actually about Barry. He's actually
He's
about the
talking about going around town with
Okay.
First Amendment auditors. This is not an agenda item.
So with this contract, what's your appropriate contract?
Will my time be reset, please?
I'll give you extra 10 seconds, 15 seconds on there. I got you.
Okay. Again, I've spent not just the whole day today, but my whole week going around with these expert investigators.
Again,
And it's
hold
been
on.
because-
Justin, the contract. You're
Sir,
actually,
I can't say the first half of a sentence.
No, that-
I'm gonna
no,
speak
Justin,
on the
I'm saying-
contract clearly.
okay, but just, you have to put your actions are doing there. It's for the contract, please.
Sir, that's what I am doing.
Okay.
Let me Quentin Tarantino and start with the end of the sentence first. Barry Beamish, supervisor, Bedford, if that's okay for the lady really running the meeting here.
Justin,
Is-
please, don't do that. That's one, please. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. His contract.
What I was relating to the contract is I've been here fighting against the tyranny of the rich and connected in this community. And here we have with this contract, one of the rich and connected in this community, having a contract recrafted for him again and again and again until it suits his needs. This time it's to the tune of him getting an extra $20,000 should he be fired or dismissed from the board early. Yeah, maybe you should read that contract
did.
before you approve it.
Oh, no, I did. Should I draft it?
Well, I'd like to know why it provides for him, unlike Mr. McKinley, to get a huge $20,000 payout should he be terminated or fired.
Okay, and later on, if I discuss that.
Okay,
It's not-
that's what, I'm not trying to back and forth, sir. I'm just trying to lay it out there what I'm bringing up. Unlike I was being falsely accused of, what I was trying to relate is the problem with the influence and collusion in this community from the connected and wealthy. And how would you see anything different here? I watched with my own eyes Mr. McKinley be treated with racist behavior here, and he was driven out.
Point of
quickly.
order, that is not on the agenda.
He just, to this, right, go ahead.
I don't think it should be up to the opinion of others how I word my sentences when I'm discussing the contract, which is an agenda item. I think there needs to be better control of these meetings to not let personal bias try and stifle people's free speech. I am addressing the contract. It is an agenda item. I should be able to say words besides contract, supervisor, and Barry Beamish, and we should all be intelligent enough to wait till the other words come to tie it in.
Justin, I agree with you. What I'm
Thank you,
saying
sir.
is, when you're actually talking about going out and telling the investigators and doing things, that's not part of the contract.
Sir,
I just,
I think we all heard the relationship.
okay. Anybody else? Okay. Moving on to reports for police and fire, Officer Valley. Welcome back, missed you. Oh, the microphone's still up there. Okay.
Right, so we, for the last month of calls for service for Bedford Township, we took 328 calls for service. We had a break-in entering incident in the area of Ardmore Drive. There was a home invasion that occurred, as well as a domestic strangulation assault. We have placed one individual in custody for that.
Yeah.
There's been damage to property in the area on Bruce Ave, Simmons Ave. There's juveniles going around the neighborhood slashing tires. We're still under investigation for that. Near N37 Road, there was a solar panel that was damaged. Okay. And then we did take, a couple larcenies, near Roxbury Lane, and Bruce Ave, Simmons Ave. An individual / juvenile had stole $200 out of her purse. Now, what these juveniles are going around in Bedford Township, they're asking for work. And if people accept their work, they are scoping out their house. And then they will be back to possibly steal things. So I would recommend if you see juveniles in the township, do not let them work for you because they could cause problems for you in the end, okay? Yeah,
I have a question. The juveniles that you speak of, are they arriving on foot or in vehicles?
they are either on foot or bicycles.
Okay.
So I just recommend, I mean, if they do come to your door, and they're not leaving, obviously call us, but I wouldn't give them any work to do around your house because they're just, mainly scoping out things to potentially steal in the future.
Are these the same ones that are shooting the BB guns?
Yes. Yeah.
Neighbors, watch out for your neighbors. Good lord.
Get them on anybody's cameras, all the cameras ring.
We do, yeah, we do have, it's all still under investigation, we do have identification on them.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where's chief?
No, chief.
No chief tonight? All right, we'll bypass the fire part. We have the legislative and the intergovernmental relationships, Representative Hasman. There's meeting. No, okay. Superintendent report, the budget update. I have. Pardon me.
So the main part of that has been here with amendments.
Please address.
So, the budget amendments that we approved last time, that's all been entered and running. You've got, adjustments down here. This will be our first quarterly adjustment, we should do one. And that's kind of there, so how about I segue into unfinished business? So I do need a motion, it's not on the agenda. The ARPA money, we talked about previous meetings, allocating that all to cover the police contracts from year 2021, 2022, and 2023. And I need a motion on that to approve that. I have,
I make a motion to approve the ARPA funds. As Mr. Beaver said,
so you want me to read that to you?
it's already agreed upon, just to make it official and put it in writing here. It was already before agreed upon, but that's in the contract, it's in the budget, it's there, just needs to be legally put down. So it's motion to approve.
Using ARPA money as previously discussed, to fund the police contracts beginning the end of 2021 and covering years 2022 and 2023.
ARPA funds to,
Give a motion,
oh yeah,
I'll support it.
Hold on, let me say it
so
again.
motion to
Approve the-
using ARPA funds, to pay
On
the
the-
police contract 2021.
The end of 2021 and then full year
22
2022
and 23.
2023.
Okay, need a second, is there discussion? Roll call?
Who approved that? Who moved that?
I said,
Kim
it,
Zoll
she
and
seconded it.
Dr. Kimball, I believe you from emergency to discuss. Your code compliance officer's biker gang is standing outside of the front doors and harassing people that are trying to get in and out. When I just walked out there, because they texted me and said this is what was going on, he tried to block my way
Officer?
of just walking out.
You
of
officers
here.
here.
He's here in his biker gang outfit tonight,
Oh, he's not, he's wearing clothes, but
so it's a biker gang outfit, it has his insignias on it and rank and everything.
We got the police officers here, they're looking at it. Sure. Thank you for letting us know.
Just for discussion, we're allocating, because I wasn't processing the entire motion, are we allocating the entire ARPA funds?
It was discussed at last meeting.
Mhm.
Yes.
This is making a full motion about it, so it's actually in writing. So
Okay,
it's
okay.
it's already done last meeting, they're all in there. So, sorry, roll call.
Okay, thank you.
Go
Trustee
ahead.
Greenwood,
Yes.
trustee Hire,
Yes.
supervisor Kendall,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Dingman,
Yes.
trustee Minneke,
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
Alrighty, moving on to unfinished business, the revised website revisions.
No changes since last time, still in process.
Okay,
We have to figure out a different package on that.
alrighty. What is the problem with the website?
The last time Tara went in, did some changes, then talking to the website folks, there was some problem on their end that they had to fix. So we kind of keep running into brick walls.
Okay, just keep me informed.
And
Thanks,
I know that the desktop version and the mobile version are two different versions, especially if you go to the contacts page. So I think it's just a matter of housekeeping at this point.
Okay. Moving on to the capital improvement plan from Jason Vanderbrink. And we're here, actually, he's not to present anything, he's here for questions about the capital improvement project. Sorry, the plan, sorry,
So,
the plan.
yeah, if there are any questions, then we have, you saw the proposal that came through.
Mhm.
So, or months ago, so really, kind of that. I can answer.
Yeah, please. Huh? Oh, just, I'm sorry, it's not, we'll get to later on, yes.
So part of this is, I forgot what page it was on. We do have in the area of Ellis, Harmonia and River Road, CEI, is currently working on that. And we know that in the area of Wellington, Mr. Hires could speak more on that, we're due for a massive issue. And they need to have CEI come in again. Is your proposal more of working in conjunction with their entities or to take that on yourself?
Question, it would be, and it actually would be up to the township regardless of which way you want to go. Capital improvement plan is to gather information to identify what improvements need to be done down the road. These are already planned for, and they're just put into the plan under what year.
Okay,
And if they're scheduled to have someone work on it, then that's all it is. But it's really just kind of a laundry list of things that have to be done so that you're not, something doesn't jump out at you 2, 3, 5 years from now.
so in terms of data analysis, I guess what I'm asking is, it's sufficient for you to kind of be a liaison and work with CEI to get data from them rather than reinvent the wheel?
That's, we can talk to them to see what they have planned for that project, then include it in.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
If I can, what trustee Greenwood was talking about in those areas, we have areas in the township that are high density. We no longer have high density in the zoning. Because the lots are too small to have a segregation between water and sewer. And that's liable to come up at some point. So it's gonna be something that really need to be part of that plan. So long term, we look at either providing water or sewer, one or the other, to be able to correct that problem. So, because at some point, the health department could say, no, we're not granting you a new septic tank because you don't want that separation requirement.
Yes, we're working on with another township in regards to that.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have petitions and new business. Presentation by Matt, Diana, DNR fisheries biologist. Oh, please, what up? Great.
So I'm here as a representative of the state of Michigan. I am a fisheries biologist from the Department of Natural Resources for your region. We manage my watershed, so being part of the Kalamazoo River watershed, I manage the water in your area, so.
Welcome.
Thank you. I was asked to come here. I've worked with the township a little bit on a few different proposed projects. And I think the purpose today is to inform the township that of exactly what we've done and what opportunities are available for you if you're looking for doing habitat improvement for fisheries or water resources. So there is a number of different grant programs available and a number of projects that we've identified that might be beneficial to the folks in the township. There's always some cost in match for these grants that comes out of the township. So I think that's one reason for bringing the board in to ask questions about how we're spending money. Haven't spent any money on projects yet. It's mostly been collaborative in order to just kind of bring you up to speed on what's available. So there's two projects. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt if you had a question. There's two projects that we've identified already that, well, I'll say that the township identified and brought me out to take a look at. The first was in Skeets German Park, some erosion issues along the river, some fish passage issues that were identified by me when we had turned it in. And an old dam that's kind of failing and potentially causing issues. Our understanding is the dam might have been township property, but it looks like it's likely private property now. But there are methods that would benefit fish species, bring in money from my department, and kind of achieve some of the goals from the park management standpoint. It looks like right now some of the goals are alleviate flooding on the site, improve some of the facilities there, deal with the erosion along the shoreline, which actually the parks have moved towards different mowing practices that we identified that helped out a lot. Yeah, and then that's the kind of thing that we can collaborate with that doesn't cost a lot of money, but does a lot for establishing better environmental practices. So the township applied for a grant. I want to say it was 2022's round of grant cycle. They did not get the award, but mostly because it came in as a surprise. We didn't have a lot of information. That's what got us looking at it closely. We got some positive feedback from the department on project. We identified some ways to make it more marketable and competitive in the grant program. And then looked to apply for a grant last year, but didn't make it happen logistically. So there's likely chance that there's interest in applying for future grants. I'm here to answer what questions the board has about that. The other project was looking at some potential culvert replacements on the road that are causing some erosion and fish passage issues. I should say these are all on Wobaskin Creek, so it's part of that watershed. We did a watershed or a fish survey on Wobaskin Lake a couple years ago, identified that fish passage was likely one of the things in the river that was impacting the fishery there. There wasn't a lot of ability for fish to move in and out of the system. So.
Zero fish bus.
Yep. We can, yeah, fish buses. But yeah, we have a number of different techniques for doing that, passive fish pass dams, doing dam removals, increasing the kind of fishability of a site like that, doing things like access to fishing on the river itself, pools that are in good places that promote fish habitat. So people can go to the sparks and fish right shore because it's a goal. So I think with that being said, I'm really here to answer questions. So if there's questions about the program or any of the conversations we've had on the site, that's what I'm here for.
Is there a one grant that you're thinking would work?
There's several. So yeah, I should have gone through the grant options. So my department has a fish habitat grant and a dam management grant. They're all bundled into what we call the fisheries habitat grant. It's all paid for by fishing license dollars, so it's not tax money. It's got a 10% match, which can be my time in kind, it can be the township's in kind, some of the work from the Parks Department, things like that. So we have other ways of producing match through other grants as well. There's other grants for doing the actual park improvements, like the DNR Passport grant. You probably use those in some other places. And then the DNR Natural Resource Trust Fund grant. All of those things are for improving park sites, especially around natural features like rivers. So we like to piece those together to fund each other in a way and try to produce money on a bigger project. You can't get a huge funding project maybe through the DNR Fish Habitat grant, but you could if you coupled that with a Natural Resource Trust Fund grant to do some park improvements in addition to some of the in-river improvements. So we play those off of each other a lot because one program is for one component, one program is for another. We've got a lot of experience with pulling that off for different municipalities.
And is there a window of opportunity coming?
It's an annual grant and the we usually announce the fish habitat grant in August. We usually announce the natural resource trust fund grant in March.
Okay.
And I have all that information. I provided it to a couple of folks that I've been talking to, and I can provide it as well. So you have all that. And we worked with the your grant writer. I can't remember the name of who we worked with on the last grant.
Right, and we don't have them any longer.
Gotcha. So that
Went on with something bigger.
so we can start from scratch with that kind of thing.
Okay.
I have some materials that I can provide for you. We'll get that type of thing. Great.
Thank you.
Yep, and I'm available for helping in the future. Like, I'm really here to just kind of make that clear.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is a board question time. Sorry, Justin, sorry. First reading of the ordinance amendment section 618.99 penalty of ordinance number 618 Bedford Charter Township disorderly conduct ordinance. Read included is in the board packet. Resolved by the Board of Trustees. Sorry, that's. Yeah, where's, yeah, here. There we go. Water.
Rob, you need a summary of that?
Holy cow. That is the whole thing?
No, Seth can get a summary.
Oh, thank God. I'd go parched.
Right here.
Seth can give you.
Oh, right here, right, yep. Thank you.
There's a request that the city of Battle Creek City Attorney's office asked us to make. There's a disorderly person statute or ordinance that the township has. And they told me that the punishment was civil infraction and they wanted that to mirror state law, which is misdemeanor. So that's the only revision. It came at the request of the city's office
Okay,
and I brought it to the board's attention.
this is ordinance number 618, correct?
Yes.
All right. So,
So the way it is it's for first reading, you would accept it for first reading, and if you find this acceptable, you would pass a motion to set it for adoption, which would be your next regular meeting, so like in August.
okay,
And that's all it is.
well, let me, this is for the Charter Township of Bedford County of Calhoun, State of Michigan, ordinance number 618, effective immediately upon publication after adoption. The ordinance amending Bedford Charter Township ordinance number 618 as amended by ordinance 8090739. And ordinance to be amended, to amend ordinance number 18 as amended by the ordinance 89739 titled the Bedford Charter Township Disorderly Conduct Ordinance to change a violation of the ordinance from a civil infraction to a misdemeanor, to provide for severability, to repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict therewith, and to provide an effective date. The Charter Township of Bedford, Calhoun County, State of Michigan ordains Section 1, amendment to the Section 618.99 of ordinance number 618, as amended by ordinance 89739. This section amends Section 618.99 titled Penalty of ordinance number 18 as amended by ordinance 89739 in its entirety to read as follows. A person who violates any provision of this ordinance is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by imprisonment for not more than 90 days or a fine of up to $500 or both. Section 2, severability. If any provisions of this ordinance shall be held invalid, its validity shall not affect any of the provisions of this ordinance that can be given effect without invalid provisions. And for this purpose, the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared severable. Section 3, repeal. Excuse me. All ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Section 4, effective date. This ordinance shall take effect immediately upon publication after adoption. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Report. Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Minneke,
Yes.
Supervisor Kendall,
Yes.
Clerk Baraco, yes. Trustee Dingman,
Yes.
Trustee Hyer.
Yeah.
Trustee Greenwood,
Yes.
6 yes, motion carries.
Yes, question. For clarification, but the most to include document the next.
Yes,
Yeah.
for the next, for approval at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the clarification. All righty. Proceeding, moving on to resolution 7/11/2448. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Township of Bedford to approve the proposal from Fleece and Vanderbrink for the development of a township capital improvement plan, with a total of $9,500. Presentation by Mr. Mike DeVries. Support. Discussion?
Yes, so I think, we have in limbo a liaison for the road commission. We have a number of items that are big items, so roads, marijuana, what else am I missing?
The fire station.
Rebuilding the fire station. And so the capital improvement plan would address the scope of all of the township issues and then the monies associated and how it would be divvied up. Recommendations from Fleece and Van and Brink. Are there any corrections that you would like to add, Mr. DeVries?
Well, the capital improvement plan is to do improvement, but improvement.
Yeah.
So it would look at, the parks and buildings, water, sewer, and those. Obviously, we have a number of plans that have been done in our different stages of different years, and we would take those, compile them together, and then gather information to update it all to anyone.
Yeah, so this is for strategic long-term financial planning. Identifying the need and then addressing the financial aspect of that moving forward.
And is this what's the timeline on this? Is it months? Is it years? Is it
To finalize it,
like what's their
I think we outlined it, I think it's a 4 month, 5 month.
4 months?
We won't want to, obviously with the ARP money that is contingent upon having a capital improvement plan. We obviously, there's not a long timeline, so we have to be done in a timely manner. Just a matter of collecting the data is usually the hardest part. And then compiling it is the secondary, but sitting down with everybody and getting that information. Is
Okay, so
I know the goal in the RFP was by the end of 2024.
okay.
So that was the tentative goal. Yeah.
Roll call?
Trustee Hires,
Yes.
trustee Meineke.
Yeah.
Trustee Greenwood,
Yes.
trustee Dingham,
Yes.
supervisor Penzel,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes. 6 yes, motion carried.
Resolution 7/11/2449. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve the proposal by Hudson Heating and Cooling for the installation of heating and cooling systems to address the financial maintenance and equipment for fire station number 3. Recommendations to split the total cost of the $10,030 between the Township Building and Grounds Fund and the Fire Department Fund. The proposals included in the board pack. Basically what has happened here is, I believe that Station 2 and Station 3. Oh, I'm sorry. That's discussion, you're right. Do we have a motion?
Did you finish? Okay.
So did. Support. All right, discussion. Sorry about that. I got ahead of myself. This is because they hadn't noticed that Station 2 and Station 3 bought some identical fire trucks. But Station 3, where they had their heating system there was the underground varies underground heating.
Yes, boiler system.
Boiler system underground heating, and that caused so much excess humidity in the bay of the fire trucks that the comparison of the two trucks and the two different fire stations, the truck there, that station there had much more advanced rust on the undercarriage, much more damage to it from the rust itself than the station over here that had the better heating cooling system. So the cost of making the improvement there was huge. Plus also, it's kind of felt, I'm a big supporter of it. Once these firefighters go on a call and they come back, they can have a little AC and they can get refreshed in order to go out again and fight the next fire. So I think this is a very important thing. Like I said, my first meeting here, police and fire are near and dear to me. The support and the protection of my community is near and dear. It starts with them. So, I guess we're doing roll, any more discussion, sorry? Any more discussion of this?
No.
All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Greenwood,
Yes,
trustee Dingman,
Yes.
trustee Menke,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes, trustee Hires,
Yes.
supervisor Penfold.
Of course.
6 yes, motion carried.
Excellent. I'm sure they'll appreciate
Just
that.
a
quite a bit.
side note, we do conduct elections there at the fire station, so that will be nice for the election workers and
Oh, yeah.
the residents as well.
So there, number 3 is on Morgan Road, so you guys know that, Station 3 is on Morgan Road, just a little west of North Avenue, on the south side of the street. Resolution 7/11/2450, resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to formally approve the employment contract for Superintendent Beamish as reviewed by legal counsel and negotiated by Supervisor Kinzel and Clerk Farraco. So moved. Second, discussion.
so I know there was, an issue brought up about cost increase. There was no starting cost increase, that was COLA. During the budget review, every employee received a 2.5% cost of living raise, and that's what that accounted for. So just for clarification on that, madam.
So he's not given the initial salary raise. It's the exiting salary of the last superintendent. This is his starting salary, it's continuation of the salary. As far as, if he were to be fired, and what he had there for the generalized severance package, why were things changed? I honestly think, first off, in my opinion, that, the first contract for Mr. McKinley was pretty cheap. For a position that's more executive, for the amount of hours you work here, 40 hours plus the time you put into it. I know that my office, you can hire a person, you'd have no chance in a person with that original contract. I think this contract, the way it stands now, for the current position and for future positions, makes it a much more viable, application process for the job. Makes it a much more, I think, a competitive as far as getting good candidates and making things happen back here. As far as the exit clause, the superintendent is not elected. He is voted upon by the board and hired through a process looking at cover letters and so forth and so on. And this was, Mr. Beamish has given up a lot of his time at his own office, his own hardware store to come here. He's arranged a lot of his life to do this. And I think it's just, I agreed that this is appropriate because if come November, if the new board up here doesn't like him and fires him, he's put all this time, effort and everything, portions of life into it. He had to give all the employees back at his office, his hardware store, to give them all raises to cover his loss of time being there. He can't just go back and say, all right, you guys gotta go back down to payment now. That's if he is fired, but he's doing an excellent job. I don't foresee him being fired. So it's kind of a moot point that, you can scratch your head, it's okay. It's only if he's fired. It's only if he's fired though. So, and his pay scale is the exact same McKinley's, and I don't see a problem with it at all. He's been serving well. We're working many hours here at the office, plus after hours. He's answered all my questions at all given times of the night. He's been great, so he's doing a great job. I'm happy for it. So, do we have a discussion on the contract?
So, how, can I?
Oh, please.
Just a moment. So how the original contract went with the first superintendent, we were new out of the blocks. Seth, our attorney, wrote the contract up. And then the supervisor at that point, she was able to go through it and adjust things so they were better or take things away to make it a contract that she felt good about, that we felt good about, but ultimately it's the board that decides it. It's really just us, what we came up with. It could be, they could vote it down now, they could change it, adjust it. It's not just you and I, it's the board that decides. So.
You don't have power, we have a vote,
Right, correct.
so,
So,
all right.
did you have anything, so?
I guess this is the last thing is if the superintendent is ever fired for cause, then there isn't that severance pay.
Correct.
Just if they're fired without cause, there's severance pay. If he resigned on his own for whatever reason, there is no.
Correct.
That's all.
Yeah. All right. Roll call?
Trustee Dingman,
Yes.
trustee Minor,
Yes.
clerk Baraco, yes. Supervisor Kenzel,
Yes.
trustee Hires.
Yeah.
Trustee Greenwood,
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried. There's a lot of movement in the audience.
But we cannot have the doorway blocked, it's a fire hazard.
Hey, guys, in the hallway out there, either come in, you can't block doorways, fire hazard. Come on in, grab seats. We got plenty of chairs in here. There's a bunch more up front. Come on in, don't be shy. Resolution 7/11/2451. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve the recommended budget amendments for the 2024 budget as follows. Adjust the general ledger 101 TAC 265.000 TAC 970 TAC, sorry, 0.201 for road improvements from $0.00 to 557,000, sorry, yes, 557,570.78. Again, these items are already in here. They've already been approved. It's making this official by doing it this way. Adjusting the general ledger 101 TAC 249.000 TAC 702.000 building and grounds from $23,575 to $25,625. Last being adjusted general ledger 101 TAC 704.000 TAC 746.000 parks and recreation from $6,000 down up to $40,588. This is all for millage. We just need to show the expenditure to continue doing grants for that.
One more.
Sorry, adjust the general ledger 101 tax 101.000 tax 970.017 township board from $746,770.76 to $146,561.98, which is our contingency fund. It just gets things all balanced out inside there. These are things that already been approved in the budget. It's just making them all legal. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Support. Excellent. Do we have discussion on this at all?
Yep, this is just house cleaning. Yeah.
And it should be done, it should be done quarterly.
Yes. Roll call?
Trustee Meineke,
Yes.
clerk Baraco. Yes. Trustee Hires,
Yes.
supervisor Kenzel,
Yes.
trustee Greenwood,
Yes.
trustee Dingman,
Yes.
6 yes, motion carried.
All right, our last resolution is 7/11/2452. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Charter Township of Bedford to approve expenditures in the amount of $3,500 from the general ledger accounts number 101 tax 704.000 tax 746 tax 0.000 Parks Recreation Village for the invitation of the Fall Festival in September of 2024. There is a flyer. You also see it at the front there, I think, as well. It's to be in the park. It's gonna have live music, chili cook-off, duck races, bounce games, funds, crafts, all kinds of fun things. It'd be great for the community, bring people together, have a little fun time, end of the year. We're using the fun, sorry, I can't have this discussion, I'm sorry. Motion, I apologize, people. Long day. Motion.
Anyone can move?
So moved. Support.
Discussion, like I said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Come out and join us. Sorry, I got out of order. That's my fault entirely. Forgive me. Any more discussion?
I know a lot of work goes into this. Danielle, excellent. You and the team and the volunteers, we appreciate it. It has gotten a lot of attention and, Buddy Holly being there, helping for a few times. Good. Holly.
Yeah, Bobby.
And we raised over the last year and a half, 2 years, we've raised $4,400.
That's amazing.
Sponsorship
Good job.
and another $800 to cover the music as well as some of the.
Thank you.
So, may I add to that? Since you were speaking of donations, and I know that, previously you were talking about having a specific line item in the general ledger for that. We're in the process of, as Craig said, housekeeping, and so we're gonna be continuously, fixing the ledger, which is why it's coming out of the millage. just so you know, and then we can use the donation line item for things later. So I just wanted to clarify that for you.
So just when Barry said it was coming out of the millage, I just encourage you all to read language on the millage. Because for some reason in my head, it's thinking that that funding for that.
If there's an issue, we'll correct the mistake. Yep, absolutely. We'll look into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because I think we do those donation funds.
Yep, I just want to make sure that we have the money separated and allocated appropriately for you, the way that you wanted it, and the way that you want to spend it. So we're kind of in the process of cleanup right now. So we may make a few mistakes, but if we do, we'll correct it.
I know the back and forth is not typical, but she's a committee. I have one last question. As far as if folks in the town wanted to donate either time, money, resources, whatever, to this event, who do they contact? How do they get a hold of it?
Right. So the best way to contact me is to private message me or message me through our public Facebook group. And you can keep track of what's going on in the parks. It's Bedford Charter Township Parks and Recreation Facebook group.
Is it like a 501c3 that folks can donate to?
No, they can donate to the town.
To the township, so folks could, anybody here, on the video watching us, anybody here in Bedford Township or elsewhere can donate to the township or, hall,
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec, with a earmark saying allocation for the fall festival on September 28th. It's a Saturday. There'll be a parade. So, support the community.
Parade.
That's right. Support the community. Come out there and be a fun person and have a good time with your neighbors.
Is that one last thing? Danielle, is that link still active? Is that your link for Parks and Rec?
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah.
still active.
Yeah,
Okay,
and we are still gathering responses on our park survey. So if you have not, let us know what you'd like to see in our parks. Please swing by and scan the QR code back there and make sure we can hear your voices. We're up to over 120 responses in the township right now. So it's pretty good survey
Be a rough and hard.
so far. So we're feeling like we're actually getting pretty tight in on the things that folks want. But if you would like your voice counted, please make sure to survey.
Thank you, Daniel. Roll call?
Clerk Bronco, yes. Trustee Hires.
Yes.
Trustee Minneke.
Yes.
Trustee Greenwood.
Yes.
Trustee Dana.
Yes.
Supervisor Penfold.
Of course.
6 yes, motion carried.
Alrighty. Now is a fun time for the public comment. If the rules are provided for public review as well. Always remember there that if you have been given a formal warning ahead of time, you have max of 3 warnings and you'll be escorted out by the police themselves. Let's keep it civil, keep it friendly, keep it nice. Please, Michael.
I'd like to start out by saying, and I think this should be verified, checked out by our township attorney. The first public comment time being limited to agenda items only is not constitutional. It is also not constitutional to tell people what they may talk about. It's also not constitutional to tell people they can't make personal attacks or use any kind of search language. None of that is constitutional. Should have our township lawyer check it out before we suffer some more major lawsuits. I also would say to even if it was my own brother voting for such things, I think it is the most low down, vile communist thing I've ever heard in my life to vote for things like, oh, let's listen to Battle Creek and increase the penalty for disorderly person, because we don't want any of those peasants coming and having too much to say. So let's put a little screw, turn the screws a little more on that. I don't think anybody's fooled. I think maybe we need a new township lawyer that's not the henchman of Battle Creek that does their bidding and keeps us being their little prey for the predator. It's disgusting. We've been giving them land, we've been giving them money, we've been giving them multi-million-dollar plants, all for free. Who's getting the benefit of this stuff? Why are we working for the service of Battle Creek here in this community? Why is that being done? We talk silly about a capital improvements plan when we have no plan to make our own municipal water supply, which is the logical choice for any municipality to be trying to be profitable. We're just trying to serve Battle Creek for some yet unexplained reason. And further communists to decide that, oh, well, we don't want our buddy to be shorted if he should get fired out, so we're gonna build in a self-destruct device that penalizes the people of this township, the hardworking people of this township, $20,000 should they decide to replace him. I guess that's what happens when you're part of the connected class, when you're part of the white, wealthy, rich, connected class in this community, because the black man sure didn't get that contract, did he? Matter of fact, you called his contract cheap. Yeah, that's the difference. So if we get one of the connected, happy little white, wealthy, connected class in the position, I guess we'll just keep recrafting the contract until it suits him. He doesn't have to be a township resident. He doesn't have to worry about getting fired. We're gonna make sure that he'll get paid no matter what, whether he does his job or not. I'm not scared off by what's going on around here. You can have your silly little ordinance officer wear his costume with his leather gloves and look like a B-movie villain and bring his whole biker gang to try and stand there and intimidate me. It don't mean nothing. Matter of fact, I wasn't gonna do it, but now I'm gonna reveal, he might not know, but his daughter calls me every time she needs help with an auto vehicle or anything. Last time I went over there to their house to get his truck unstuck for him out of the backyard, I discovered where he's been illegally dumping construction waste, trash, junk, and other toxic contaminants down his back hill of his property here in this community for who knows how long. It was a mountain of garbage. That's our ordinance officer.
This is for the contract. I wasn't here for McKinney's contract. It wasn't a black, white thing. For me, it's a business thing. I'm a businessman. I made a better business contract. That's all, but.
I made it. I speak loud enough.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Dan Strobridge.
Hi, Dan.
Yes.
I'm sorry, board. Sorry.
Yeah.
My name is Dan Strobridge. I was raised in Urbandale, as was my father, my grandfather before me. However, for the last 40+ years, I've made my home in Bedford Township. And in that 40 years, I've served my township and a police department. I retired from Albion Public Safety several years ago now. I'm still on the Township Fire Department at Penfield. I was your county commissioner back in the mid-2000s, a long time ago. Mark and I go way back. And anyway, so now with Steve Frisbee, hoping to move up to Lansing and vacating that seat. I hope I can run for county commission again, and I am running for county commission again. And then take back my seat that I gave up 20-some years ago, or almost 20 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you for your service in the police force.
Make sure. I'd like to know, what is the definition of wealthy? What's wealthy? Do you know? How much money does this township have in any of their accounts? Do you know? Quarterly reports. We've been asking and asking for quarterly reports from the treasurer's office since November of 2020. Do you know how many you've offered? That's 0. Every month you get a list of how many checks you've written and what the revenues have been for the expenditures, but where are the monies coming in? We have new houses building, we have new businesses in town. Have they created more tax revenue? Where is your revenue report? Where is your report that says this is where our money is? We don't really know what department this is because that treasurer has not offered you that. Has anyone asked her? I know it's an elected official, but I don't think you're gonna get that same result with the next treasurer when she runs. When there's a report every quarter, she'll have that handed in and it'll be in your packet and it'll be online. You can go back online to every single one of the meetings and you'll never find a report. I mean, a BSNA report, not some Excel spreadsheet put together with handwritten and misspelled words on it. I'm not talking like that I hand out 5 seconds before a meeting.
Which report would you, what report would you want to have?
You need to, I want to know what's in account 205, what's in account 206. How many subdivisions of these accounts do we have and where's the money coming in from? I get where the money's going out. I read that every single month. I know where the money's going out. Where is it coming in? Do we get money from dog licenses? If so, how much? I know you estimated with your budget how much money you were supposed to be getting in. Is that tracking?
Is that where you think we should be? Or are we a little bit higher because we have another marijuana business? We have some more houses, which would create tax revenue for people who do pay homeowners taxes. Some people pay taxes. And so the tax bills got out in the mail today. They were due July 1st. We got it today. It's only 11 days late. But where are these reports that I believe as a board, you should really care about? Not having those reports in your packet, not having your public have a clear and transparent idea of where it's coming from. Thank you.
Are the reports on numbers?
No,
Okay,
well, the revenues are,
okay.
or the expenditures are, the revenues are not.
Should it be or could it be?
It's treasure.
Okay,
Treasurer's part.
could we make sure the treasurer is aware of this and that's, okay, okay, if we ask her so that by this month, I'd have them available online. Will you please make sure that happens?
You can ask,
Okay,
nobody can compel.
we'll ask. I can, yep, we'll keep asking that. Public comment? I don't, microphone?
Hello,
Here you go.
thanks, Carl. Well, and my name is John.
Hi, Josh.
Good evening, board. I really appreciate how to the agenda folks here are. It's important to follow the agenda, especially when it's laid out so clearly, especially decorum. We're a community here, right? I'm not from here, but what I see as a community, whether one person's on one side of the fence or the on the other side of the fence, they're striving to do what they can do to best protect and defend their community. And I was looking at decorum, and the gentleman over here to my left, I don't know if word fuck is part of or against that decorum, but I think that decorum should come from the top down. As this gentleman told me to get the fuck out of the building. I thought that it belonged to the people that live here, the high amounts of increasing taxes that they pay to keep their properties sustained and their utilities upkept and their infrastructure sound. I think it's insulting, say the least, to have something that you expect we, the people that live and breathe in this town, that they should use decorum and not say the word fuck. When the gentleman over here is the first one willing to tell us to get the fuck out of his building, as seen on camera. I wasn't sure it was his building. Now I know. And then now we all know that it's his building. I don't know any of you. I have nothing negative to say about any of you. I just thought as a visitor coming into this town and enjoying many of the local businesses since I've been here, and meeting many of the local people that live here, even if there's a difference of opinion. I met him the other day. I don't think things got off to the right start. I don't know. I don't think we're friends. I don't think he's inviting me out to a beer anytime soon. But at the end of it, he smiled, he shook my hand, and he didn't tell me to get the fuck out of his building. That was that night. So I think that a conversation has to be had because this town is under the microscope of the people that live within it, people that are volunteering their time to do excellent work for their community to help support it. Battle Creek drains a lot of resources from here. People are trying to fight to keep that value and those beliefs alive, right? So you're under the microscope of your own community. Now you're under a world microscope. So if anyone should get the fuck out of the building, it should be him, and it's not his, it's the people's. Thank you.
Just as a side note,
Yes, sir.
Shabbat Shalom, is that just weekends or is that every day?
Look, I am. Hey, God, is that a religious thing?
Well,
Are you trying to call me out for a religious preference?
No, that's good.
Would you like to know the traits of Passover or Hanukkah? Would you like to have a 7-day discussion on my religious belief? There's a separation of church and state for a reason. I make a public comment and then you make a religious remark to me. So why don't you do something? Sit down, be quiet, run your meeting.
Yeah, I was making a nice comment.
You're right. Point of order. You're out of order. Robert's rule of order. You're out of order. Point of order.
I apologize for making a nice comment to you. I apologize.
That ass down.
Excuse me.
Point of order. Sit down, you.
No, you're not in charge here.
Rachel, we have people are in charge here, sir.
Okay.
I think that's what you forgot. That's why you're in this club right now. Point of order. I'm gonna remain quiet now and enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you. It'd be nice, but I guess I can't do that either.
Right, feelings?
No, you didn't.
Sorry.
You did a little bit.
Hi, I'm Rita Kerwin.
Hey, Rita.
So, wow, wow. I've lived in this township 30 years, and I really thought I'd seen enough. I'm quite ashamed of my township tonight. I see 3 cameras going. And I just don't understand it. We're supposed to be a community. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not prejudiced, I mean, you know, I'm the only dark-skinned person here. I'm Hispanic. Why in the world, in this community, can we not get the hell along? Use my language. We have so many people here. We are a community. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess that's please.
We're a community, Ford. And we can't even get along. But we have 3 cameras here. We have one camera that should be here. We have to be told over and over to behave. We're grown adults. Grown adults. I've never been so ashamed of our community. And you start out with a prayer and ask to be civil. And it can't even happen. I don't care why Mr. McKinley's not here anymore. It's nor here nor there. The man is not here. We have to have civility. And we're not having it. It's time for this community to heal and get together and work together. I've said this before. I said it before Mr. McKinley got hired in. I've said it time and time again. We have to have some civility here. We're getting ready to have a vote. How many people are going to survive? I don't know. But whoever does, we've got to work together. We taxpayers should have that in our community. I like coming in here and saying hello to everybody. But what new faces are going to be here? I'm still going to come in. I enjoy these meetings, but I don't like the big room. I can't stand it, but I come every month. Every month. I remember talking to the lawyer and asking him to smile. He's smiling. But that's common courtesy. I like to see somebody smile. It shows me you're human.
Thank you.
I am the only dark person that.
Please.
Oh, you want to go first?
I'm not sure they're both pretty quick. I can tell who's first. Making sure.
Let's discuss some actual business, yeah? That sounds like fun. So the road coordinator got brought up tonight, part of the capital improvements plan. I can't emphasize to the board enough how important it is that we get a voice down there at the county. And I just have 2 dates here I'm gonna give you guys. This is readily available information pulled off the road department's Facebook page. On April 8th, they started hot patch pothole patching. It took until about 10 days ago for me to see the Durapatch truck, which is not hot patch, in Bedford Township. Okay, it's July what, the 11th today? Okay. And there's lots of potholes that should be filled. They use the Durapatch truck to basically do crack filling and then put rock over it. So now we have speed humps going down Collier. It's a great use of resources that should have been supervised by someone from this township. On 5/13, they started their roadside mowing. I've lived in Bedford my whole life and never have we made it to the July 4th holiday and the sides of the road not been mowed. They are a danger to the citizens in this community. Someone is going to get killed because we don't have a voice to try and figure out what's going on and why we're not getting service for the tax dollars that we pay. And yeah, I'm a little charged up on that tonight because this is just dragged on and dragged on. And I know this is probably unfair to you, but that starts at the top.
Agree.
And works its way down. We have to have a voice there to find out what's going on. I would encourage Felicia Vanderbrink to use the literature that we made available through that road report. That will have a lot of the stuff that they're looking for. When the last time the roads were done, what surface was used, so on and so forth. try and save ourselves a little bit of money by using, you know, resources that we already have been provided with, so that can be, you know, part of your stuff. I mean, everything we do here is for the general health, safety, and welfare of the public, right? Right? I mean, they're laughing because they think that's funny. That's in the oath that we take, and that's important. And I think it's time, and I think that the residents deserve a little bit better here. And that starts at the top and works its way down.
Thank you. Mary? Please make sure you address as far as the road commissioner, and get that thing. We need a big discussion amongst us and make this thing happen here and get something put together. I think it's important that we get a voice, like you said, out there, so we can be better heard.
I have been regular contact with Christine Parsons. I'm in regular contact with Christine Parsons, the interim director. They've got some issues that they're not telling us about, but I mean, I'm
Good.
at least 2 or 3 times a week I'm in contact.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Barry. Good job. I think actually the gentleman in white t-shirt, are you sure? Okay. Yeah, man. Okay.
My name is Kathleen Mikey,
Hi, Kathleen.
and I agree with a couple other people that have said things here. Bedford Township, my great-great-grandfather started part of this township over 100 years ago. So yeah, I am, and I do live in this township now. Big house down here at the point. I was half raised in it, yes. But I also got my bill today, and I would like to know where the money's going. I would like to see a treasurer's report, a regular one, on a regular basis, and I think we're all deserve that. And I also agree with this lady over here. This is a sham. I think it's pathetic that you guys must not have no sort of pathetic life, that you have to come in and disrupt other people that are trying to have a decent conversation. And I did like the way that you did start on it, because you're right, it should be civil. This is not. This looks like what happened when they started closing down the institutions.
And like you said, we're gonna keep asking the treasurer for the reports.
How often do you have to ask? Shouldn't you only have to ask once, then the person who is the treasurer should do it?
She's those time.
Get it. Aren't she ever coming?
Oh, we thought it said, okay, sorry.
So if you don't. Tell us.
Okay, ma'am, we'll address it. Sir, that's your call.
Was that?
Not your call.
Everyone was kind of talking, so I kind of.
Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate your help. I appreciate your help, but try to keep it a little organized. I think you're next, actually. Oh, here, or who's next? Or you keep passing up there.
I don't need that.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
I don't think I would have done this, and came up here to talk, but I am really disappointed. Saddened by what I see. I was an elected official in another township and I am on the ballot here. What I would like to see is more cohesiveness. The community needs to work together. I don't see that. I don't know a lot of the community. I work in Battle Creek City. I don't know a lot of the community here, but I'm not up here to cast vote. What I want to see, whether I get on or not, whatever board is now newly elected, work together. This community deserves that. The board deserves that. And until everybody does better, you don't do better, you can't be better, so. That's that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is James. I do appreciate you letting me speak. I'm not a resident here. I know the rules say you have to let me speak, but I genuinely do appreciate the time of all the people who live here and work here. And I just wanted to say, I know a lot of people seem upset that there's cameras here. And I wanted to tell you personally that the only reason that I try to travel the country teaching people to record their government. This isn't my government, and I get that. It's the people behind me that have gotten up here and spoken. And I try to teach people that you should always record your government because they lie. And there's been multiple people up here that do live in this community. What's that? Right. And when we try to request body cam footage or whatever it is, I mean, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for like 8 years. We get the constant runaround.
you know, whatever it is. So to me, it's just get your own reportings. So you can prove what did or didn't happen with your government. I sincerely appreciate the hospitality that I've received in the 4 days that I've been here. I'm flying out tomorrow, but I genuinely appreciate this community. It seems like a lot of really good people out here, a lot of great businesses. I'm not here to try to disrupt you guys or cause you problems. Just like in my hometown, we do this with our government. We record them, we redress our grievances, and we try to get things done. And I've noticed that when we start publishing what's actually going on, all of a sudden, a lot of the corruption starts at least slowing down when it's more heavily publicized. So I mean, no disrespect to any of you guys, and thank you so much for having me.
Where are you from?
Well, a lot of places.
Okay, that's fine.
Currently, I'm living in New Mexico now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So you're here for the good weather.
yes, it is beautiful.
In the back corner.
My name is Peter Van Gilpin. I do live in this township. We start off tonight talking about the word democracy. It's a compound word. Barry, a compound word is when you take two or more words and you put them together.
Address the
make a
board,
big
please.
Word out of it.
Address the board, please.
Well, so you all know. Well, so you know. Democracy is Greek. Comes from two words. One meaning people, the other meaning rule. He's rule of the people. Abraham Lincoln had another way of saying it. It was of the people, by the people, and for the people. For the people. So think about democracy, representational government. And look at our board. Appointed. I don't even know what to call what's going on over here. Never applied for the job, was never vetted, never went through the process. Not now, we didn't have interviews, we didn't know. Okay, so then there was secret.
No.
He's like. Yeah, right.
Please continue.
Representational
Up here,
government,
please. Address the board.
when they're appointed. So I'm running for clerk, write-in candidate for clerk. I'm gonna tell you, if you want this government again, just look out in front of his store. All their names are there. If you want to change, you want something different, you want to go another course, vote for the names that are not in front of his store. That's choice. That's how democracy is supposed to work. And if you think there's too much conflict here, think about when somebody gets attacked by a member of the board. And then the biggest problem is raising your voice. Or when the board forces us to pay for his indiscretion, us, the people, again, we paid what he did. Don't raise your voice. Tuck your tail. Be afraid of the government. Oh, no. And then we've diminished this. So it's like royalty. Instead of, we eliminated an elected leader or figurehead, put power over there, appointed. I remember seeing that job come up. I did when it was McKinley. I saw the interview when McKinley was here. I remember interviews with this guy.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, Peter.
Good. Okay. Good doctor. Do you have this for you though? Oh, one's just over here.
Yes, you can actually. It's under the price of what is allowed to be accepted, and it is free to you. It's only a few dollars for those books, so. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the capital improvement plan. I don't know, I know you guys want to talk about it, but that capital improvement plan is something that should have been done a very long time ago. As a charter township, you're required by law to have a capital improvement plan. Joyce knows this. We talked about it openly when I was here in office.
Because that's the law. It's pretty simple for you to read through the law that governs what you guys do. Because that's what those MCLs ultimately do, is control you all, not us, but you guys all flip it around. Make it so that you can twist it upon controlling the people. So, I know, you don't understand your job.
No,
Make
not at all.
faces.
And you do.
Yeah, and continue to talk back like a child. That's what happens. It's what happens when you're in a position that you don't know what you're doing, and you're run off your ego. And it shows through messages, through online posts, and now openly here, because thousands and thousands of people get to see now. Well, they missed the beginning part, but we'll add that in as far as you're silencing me, because then you gavel me, and then the things that you allow throughout the rest of the meeting that didn't get gavelled, please review the meeting for yourself so that you understand how you're not doing things cohesively. Okay? Yeah. Road commissioner. We don't need a road commissioner. Your job should be to attend the meetings. I attended the meetings. Now you got a paid goon to do that for you guys. But we don't need a whole nother position. I don't need you to continue to respond to me during my public comment time, sir. That is disruptive and rude.
Point of order, this time.
Muted audio. We just recently have now had video here. We've needed video here for a very long time, and why myself and others have come here with video cameras to record. Last meeting, the audio just all of a sudden stopped during my public comment time and didn't come back, and so no one got to hear anything of the rest of it. That's why we need extra recordings, because mysteriously these things just always happen. And it's not addressed to the board, it's addressed to the chair, Mr. Chairman. Have you read Robert's Rules of Order? Do you know anything about the job that you are doing as far as your civil duty to function meeting? You don't, because you obviously have shown us your lack of civility, your lack of de-escalation abilities, and your childlike nature, which goes back to you running off of your ego.
I'm sorry.
And you did it again with that look. Thank you.
Wonder.
Anybody else? Yes, sir. There you go. If you wish. There you are.
Good evening, board. My name is Alex Harris from Albion. I just wanted to reiterate the importance of the August 6th primary elections. We've got 3 Republican candidates running on a ticket. We're all very different. So I advise you to tell your constituents to go out and do some research, and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. That was short and easy. Anybody else in the back around? Oh, all righty. Moving on to the trustees' personal privilege. Let's start. There we go. Anyone? Okay, moving on to the, that's by.
So just some clarification regarding the disorderly conduct ordinance, stating that we were outsourcing that to the city of Battle Creek. That was actually regarding, noise and that not being a zoning issue. So it was in zoning, it was listed as a municipal civil infraction, and moved over to a police power ordinance. So, I don't remember who it was that came to the last meeting. This woman was talking about someone doing target practice. And if it's township based in a municipal civil infraction and we aren't here on a weekend, she has no help. She has no one to call. The proper route for that would be to, if there's an issue, call the police. And so we had moved that over not to give to the city, but to handle issues like that appropriately. Thank you for clarification from Mr. Stibe regarding the dates for what's going on with the roads. It does need to be addressed. We have asked continuously for a treasurer's report. I know it was asked for this month. That is required by statute. To have one quarterly, we have not received one. I don't know what to tell you. As far as speaking about appointments, speaking about the superintendent, anyone that is misinformed, I would encourage you to read the Charter Township Act for Michigan, and you will find all of the information there. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the chairpersons and elected officials.
I have flyers for the upcoming elections, date, time, place, the next one being August 6th. And then, the early voting starts at the Tool Family Center in downtown Battle Creek. And that starts on Saturday, the 26th. So that information's out right here, maybe out front. I agree with the having to do something about the roads because I was driving down Halbert. You can't even get to the mailboxes with the curb side growth. I mean, it's probably, I'm surprised you don't have more complaints, but it's hard to have the residents clean their yard, take care of their yard when we're not doing our part on the side of the roads. Our part meaning the county. So I think that does need to be addressed in some fashion. I think that's it. Thank you.
What a meeting. It's late, it's hot. Again, thank you. I will read it. I will. So thank you. Everyone. Like you said, let's work together. I really want to. This is a good township. I'm not from here. I don't have great grandparents who helped found the place. I did it for 13 years. It is my town now. I had 2 kids born here. I work here, I live here. I plan to probably be here for the rest of my life. So this is my home and I'm trying to make it better for all of us. So here we go. Anyways, God bless you all. Drive safe home tonight. Watch the heat, stay hydrated, water your pets and animals. And this meeting is adjourned at time 8:20. 8:20.